Miss Monique Nikkole, you had visited the candy show 2 years ago,
Yes, indeed.
and
It's been a while.
uh, it's been a while. Now, last time you were in the process of moving from New York to ATL.
Yes, indeed. And now I'm out here in Canton, Georgia. I'm like north of Atlanta.
Okay. All right, all right. How's it treating you out there?
Good, good. I like it. The weather's milder, much milder than New York. So I'm happy for that. I got tired of the cold. So make sure that I spend my winter months here, and I'm still back and forth between New York and Georgia because New York is always home, you know. So, but I love it. It works. It works. I'm not too far from the city. I'm like, I guess about 45 minutes from the city or so. But you know the Atlanta traffic, how that could be. So on a good day, it's 45 minutes.
Listen, traffic here in Indianapolis is just getting just as crazy as New York and Atlanta, that Georgia traffic. So I'm used to it.
Okay.
The last time we talked, your single, Red Bottoms and Lingerie, was out.
Yes, yes. That was my stylistic pivot at the time. You know, doing something new, something fresh, more of the contemporary R&B. That single earned me a spot on Billboard at it topped out at 35, I believe, on Billboard, featuring Lil Flip. And yeah, it was a different project and one that I took on as a challenge, and I absolutely loved it. It was fun. It was just really fun being all these different things that we are as women. You know, we play a lot of roles and we wear a lot of hats. So that song kind of portrayed that for your man, of course. You know.
Well, congratulations on the success of that single.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. Now, a lot has happened too within these last couple of years, not only with your music, your personal life. You've been hitting the road, you're a trucker girl.
Yes, I retired in 2021. Matter of fact, after I dropped that red bottoms and lingerie is when I retired from law enforcement and moved out here. Last December, I went to Chattanooga Technical College because, like, I don't have anything else to do. Add some more to the plate. I wanted to get my CDL. So I went there, got my CDL, got all my endorsements, and I said, well, heck, I'm going to go out there and drive. So I started driving, which is the typical big boxes or rectangles, and that was cool, but I wanted more of a challenge, so I started to get into tankers in bulk. So I'm in the bulk division now currently, and just learning as much as I can um, as a worker, but as a boss. Because before you go out there and you purchase trucks or you get into any type of logistical brokering or anything on the back end, you should know the front end. You know, so and I want to know what it's like to actually do the work. So once I get
Mhm.
trucks on the road, first of all, you can't just leave my truck on the road because I could go get it. But I'll know about the unique challenges that drivers happen to encounter on the road. You know, because unless you actually driven, and you really don't know. You know, so it's kind of like doing my homework. You know, this past year, so I want to give it an entire year, and then kind of evaluate or reevaluate at that point where I want to take this transportation venture. So, yeah, that's pretty much my reason for getting into it. Because, like anything that you need, it's coming in by railway, by boat, by truck. So transportation is nothing it's nothing you can do without transportation. So that's just a good area to research and build off of as an entrepreneur. So yeah, so that's I know you probably wasn't looking for that big long answer, but that's like my methodology behind why I went to get my CDL and why I went to work for someone, and I'm going to complete that in February. And then, just step away and give it some air and see what else I may need to know about that industry and what makes sense.
Well. Busy. See, I suspect that's the reason why we weren't able to connect when I was in Atlanta last time.
Yeah,
You was,
on a lot. Like, I was just gone for 11 days. And, I was OTR before. I'm kind of regional now, so I'm usually home by the weekend. But there was a scheduling snafu where the powers that be, whoever wasn't in there, they just had me out there. So I couldn't get
I,
time. And I mean, it's cool. It's what it is. I did it.
okay.
The 3,500 miles later, but I'm home.
Okay, well, listen, you here. But before we move further into this conversation, now I know that there's still some signal issues, and I want to make sure that we get you straight.
Okay.
So on my end, I'm seeing you doing a little still, you're freezing up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I,
So
you're clear on my,
I'm clear.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm here.
Okay. Okay. You hear me well, correct?
I am.
Okay. So I'm still seeing you freeze up. Just let you know, this is something that happens. We all know this happens, but we can still hear you.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay.
All right. So with that being said, now you moved into the trucking business. You also released a couple of songs, right? A couple other songs. Freak.
Yes. Yes. That song, uh, my brother and I, Rodney Banks, DJ Ice, we wrote that song together along with our producer, Joe Lindsay. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a funny kind of record that just happened. We were in the studio, we heard the beat, and, that's where it took me and then took us. So on that record, I'm more rapping than singing, doing some singing, like a combination of both, which people haven't heard from me before. But I come from a very rich foundation in hip hop as well. You know, back in the days, just being surrounded by everyone in Brooklyn. I mean, everyone hung out in my mother's basement, and that's a part of me. Like, I mean, people that know Monique Nikkole know that I have a mixtape of like this DJ stuff on SoundCloud and stuff like that. So, just wanted to do a record that shows. I mean, I'm eclectic. Like, there's a lot of different sides in me. So that was yet again another side of me, and it did pretty well, like in the strip clubs and places like that. It streamed well. I didn't put a lot behind it promo wise. I just been dropping a single here and dropping stuff, for fun. And it got on the radio out here in Atlanta, and it went up. So that was pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Y'all can check it out. It's on all the streaming platforms. It's called Freaks. And it really was me entertaining my alter ego, which is Maximilians. So I really released that as a joint venture of my flip side, which is Maximilian. She's the rapper, you know.
Oh wow! And, you know, we saw that sexy side of you when you first came onto the Candy Show,
Yeah.
but you've also moved a little bit more less sexy this last couple of years, and you moved into some other. I believe you have a song out that's a little. It talks a little bit about the controversial with women and not being in your business, and I should be making my own decisions for me. Elaborate a little bit on that one.
Yes. Well, as you know, and your supporters, our supporters that's on here today, there was legislation that was signed into law in multiple states that are not allowing women to have the freedom of choice. Um, Roe versus Wade, rolling that back. I mean, that came into existence, into law in 1973. And here we are, 50 years later, um, now they're wanting to now take advantage of our right to choose and what goes on with our bodies. And for the amount of blood, sweat, and tears that it took to actually get that legislation passed in 1973. Here we are in 2000, this was last year, right? 2022 is when they now started to roll back Roe versus Wade. I have a problem with that. I don't care what part of the aisle you fall on or what your religious beliefs are. You can't push that on someone else. If you don't believe in it, then you do what works for you. And the same thing on the other side of the aisle or whoever falls in between. Um, so basically that was part of the motivation of the song Queen of the Hustle because I feel like they're trying to get women to not work anymore, be barefoot and pregnant, and I don't want to go too deep into this, but you and I both know who the angle is here and what population they're looking to build up because they find that us brown people are becoming more prominent and becoming the majority. So, okay, so we come up with this law, then we can have more babies to make the population more equal. I'm not understanding the mindset, but I have a problem with a bunch of men making decisions for women. It's not your business. You know, and as far as like what I said is one of the lines, stay out of my uterus. It's not your business, it's mine. So yeah, it was about Roe versus Wade. I actually was in LA when this whole thing blew up. I can't remember what award show it was. It could I don't know if it was, I don't think it was the Grammys. I think it was like Soul Train. No, not Soul Train. BET Awards or something weekend. And if you look back on my IG, I actually have footage of a march that was it was ensuing, like in the middle of where I was staying downtown LA. And I'm like, and that's when it fell on my heart. I'm like, this ain't right, you know. And I'm not hearing anybody like really talking about it in music. You know, I came up in a time where well, civil rights happened before me. So that would be like, our parents, right? But they also raised us with awareness and the music from that time, which we was born as babies, translated to us. You know, we had Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, and these records that spoke to a movement. And I find that nowadays, like, it's cool, we make these records, yeah, it's sexy, it's this, you sexy, you ratchet, but we need to also talk about stuff that matters. So that was the motivation behind that record. And also, she women nowadays are not home with cookies, flying out there wherever. We're out there, we're bossing up. So don't try to push us back. We're not going backwards. We're going forwards. You got to get out there and vote because a lot of the mini elections and the midterm elections, rather, this is where we let go of these different positions that matter. When you have to go out there, you have to vote for judges, and you have to vote for all of these smaller elections, and then you lose them, and then you now want to scream about what's going on. Why is this happening? Because you're not making it to the polls to vote. So this is a direct reflection of that. So just hopefully like someone hears this music or it pushes them to maybe become a little bit more active, you know.
And you know what? That's the crazy thing because it goes down to your vote. Going back to what you were saying about the music, I to echo the Marvin Gaye. How about the self destruction song?
Right,
So yes, it's time, but to each his own.
right. You do both, but if you have that platform and you have that many people looking at you, we might want to, in between whatever it is you're doing, you might want to throw some consciousness in there, you know?
Unfortunately, some people don't want to hear that. Some people don't want to hear it. And that's all I'm gonna say with that.
Right, right.
Okay, now, but now I'm glad you. I see something playing in the background,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you've been acting lately too.
Yeah, this movie I actually produced with my manager, Michael Stemley. Right, we both starred in it. My brother co-starred in it as well. My brother plays the lieutenant, and we came together, we partnered up, and we pulled our resources and we made this movie called Deeper Than Law. And it's currently on Tubi, so you can stream it and watch it for free. So go support it. It's an independent movie. It's a great piece of work. I play a detective. Monica is my name, and it's funny because she kind of parallels my life in a way. I was a sergeant, a detective sergeant in the detective division in Nassau County. She's a detective, and she's going after a drug dealer, but she's also a singer and songwriter. That's trying to pursue her dreams and work that 9 to 5 to fund her dreams. And I'm not gonna give away the whole movie. Y'all just gotta go check it out. You'll find out if she gets the bad guy or not. But yeah, it's a cool movie.
Was that your first production in that
Uh,
mass? Was that your first acting gig?
yes. Like I've acted before, modeled and stuff like that. But as far as like a movie, definitely, yeah, that's the first. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm pretty proud of it. There is gonna be a sequel. I'm not sure when. We'll see because now it's getting back into starting to set up go time with shows and releasing the EP and it's a lot that's going to happen coming into the new year. Um, so we'll see. Probably like the end of the year, we'll be looking into doing it. That's right. Rodney, you saw Rodney right there. One of my friends about my brother in the movie. So so anyhow, towards the end of the year, we'll probably be looking to do a part two. Mhm.
Okay, now if you need an actress, an extra or something, I can try. at the last on a drop of dime. So if you need that, let me know.
Yes, and I just was in a Netflix series too. Squid Games, The Challenge. I was player 276, episode 1. You'll catch me with my China bumps running for my life.
Now, not to give away exactly how you got into that, but how did you get into that?
Well, a young lady, her name is Michelle. She has a PR company called Plugstar. And colleagues, girlfriend, she got this thing on her desk and she was like, you know what? Audition for this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, I auditioned, I did the video, submitted it. I didn't think to hear anything, and I heard from them. And it took about 4 months of background investigations, and it was just insane. Like we signed the NDA, so we couldn't discuss it until it actually dropped, which it dropped a couple of weeks ago. And it was quite an experience. It really was. I don't know how much of media you guys follow and all the controversy that's surrounding the show. And if you don't know about it, just Google it. There's a lot of information out there of things that people are talking about that happened during the filming of the show. I'm just going to say that a lot of it isn't a lie. I'll just put it like that. Because but also, I'm not really trying to be trash and this giant, I'll believe that there. But there's enough information for y'all to take a look at and just
Well.
it is. But it was an experience. I would say that much. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to be Googling it and checking it out when we get off of
I'll
here.
send you some links too. But
Uh,
we filmed this in the UK January. Yeah. And sub 3 temperatures with nothing but those tracksuits on.
ooh, ooh, okay. Well, I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah. Interesting. But anyhow, 276 made it over the finish line, and then you don't see us anymore. Weird stuff, but that's pretty much it. So when you tune in, you'll see me running. You won't see me again.
Mm-mm. Well, at least you can say you were on
I
there.
was, and like Good Morning America had my big old face up there. Um, Last week when they did the finale, so that was kind of cool. People were calling me, like, "We just saw you on Good Morning America." My mom was like, "Oh my God, they have a big still of your face on there." I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll take it."
Say, listen, at least you could say you were on there. People can really now see you.
I make light of it or whatever. But I'm a truth teller. I'm a straight shooter, so I'm just gonna tell you it is what it is. When you read about the things, most 95% of what you're gonna read is I'm telling you the truth. 90, maybe 90, right? So, but yeah, I got to be part of the biggest cast in history. There's 453 people were casted for this for the Squid Game, this the challenge. But I heard that they went through upwards of like 1 million candidates in order to get to this 453 people. So
Oh, wow.
I got you know, and
You,
it did it. So yeah, that's my two. I guess. Well, right now the top things as far as acting, our own production and the Squid Games thing. So there'll be more to come for sure. You know.
Well, at least you can add that to your resume,
Absolutely.
your bio.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Okay, now the last couple of years you've been busy, you've been acting, you still have been putting out different variety of songs. And now we're going to talk about this new song that you have out.
Yes, indeed. If what I feel is real, it's written by John Halcott and myself, produced by Halcott, John Michael Halcott, and yeah, we got together through a mutual friend of ours, Donna Lisa Johnson, who was doing my market, and she's like, I want you to meet someone, and that's how we wind up getting together, and we started with conversation, and then he sent me some melodies, and this one actually clicked with me in the hook, and everything just came. The melody. I sent the voice note to John, and he was like, "Okay, let's go." And yeah, it was really organic. It came from a very honest place, and it came from a it came from my roots. Like when you hear that song, that's my roots. That that's my wheelhouse. Those type of records, real classic R&B. It's just it doesn't to me. That's the best kind of R&B. Period, hands down. Hey, whatever. I can do it all, which is cool. But at the end of the day, that's where my heart is.
Okay, so hold on. Now we see that we lost your audio.
I
Yes.
should. Let me put this on. No, if I put it on airplane mode, it's gonna cut off. Somebody was trying to cut in. I'm sorry.
Okay, not a problem. So you were saying that it was a real organic song. That's what comes from your heart. That's exactly. So go ahead and finish.
Yeah, it's just real R&B. It's right in my wheelhouse. It's just I don't know if you wanted to say who is Monique Nikkole, like who is she outside of that eclectic enigma, like oh she does all these things, but you know how something is your thing. Classic R&B is my thing. That's my thing. Also gospel too. You know what I mean? But those are the things that I most enjoy. That brings my soul joy singing. Although I do a lot of things, but if I had to pick two and I couldn't do the rest, I would not do the rest.
Oh, I can definitely tell there's a different vibe from you on if I love, excuse me, if what I feel is real. I can definitely tell that there's a different vibe. You sung that naturally, but you sung it from the heart.
Yeah. It's
Not to,
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say not to say that you don't do that with anything else, but I just felt this one is a different vibe. Very classic, very old, not old, but the older back to the basic R&B,
Right.
slow song R&B.
Yeah. And that's I know a lot of people are like, oh, R&B is dead. Or, people are feeling differently about R&B these days. I don't feel that way. It's definitely not dead. There's a lot of good. It's a good reemergence of good records out there. Like Jordan Sparks he got this record out. Like, you got Tank. You have Anthony Hamilton. He's R&B and soul. It's just there's a lot of good records out there right now. depending on what medium you're listening to. And you know, I just for me that's my heart lies in classic, real, authentic. Not that the other stuff is fake. I'm not saying that, but that's that's my place. That's my sweet spot. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Tell me about the writing process when you guys, with you, and by the way, shout out to John Michael Halcott. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for getting this orchestrated together, but also co-penning this song. Now, how did that
Yeah.
work out? Did he come up with a hook? Did y'all just start talking about an idea? Tell me.
Well, we talked about um like ideas, and because John's the producer, so he's gonna now come up with this track, which came up with a couple of things, and that one stood out. And the creative process was, like I said, so organic. As soon as I heard it, the first thing that came out my mouth was the hook and the melody, and it just went from there. Like it just grew legs. So it's like once I put the hook down, and I'm like, I sent a text to him like, "What you think it is?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we just kind of just built the record from there. So I penned the hook. He penned the sub hook, like the call and response. He did the bridge. I think the second verse, I did the first verse or whatever. I mean, we just collaborated. We did it. We were back and forth on FaceTime, and we just got ready. So by the time that we met and did it here, he flew into Atlanta and we recorded it here. And we knew exactly what we were doing. We had our roadmap. We had everything worked out. He's very professional. I'm very professional. Time is money. So, we made sure that we ironed everything out and we knew what we wanted to accomplish once we got into the booth. We actually, I had a video crew that did a making of. So that's on my YouTube. Part of it's on my page on IG. People can scroll back and look. And we talked about some of the creative process there too. So there's actually some content. But as soon as I heard it, it was like, oh wow. And that was it. It was like the hook just came out. That's it. And
Most definitely.
yeah, that's when you just know. Like as an artist, when you hear something and it just comes like that so naturally, you just know, okay, that's it.
Well, how long has it been out?
What you said?
How long has it been out?
Golly, like a two. When did I put the lyric? The lyric video went up a month ago, so I think it's been out for like almost 2 months, I believe. And the lyric video, last time I checked, a couple days ago, was at 75,000 streams. So views, yeah. So that's pretty cool. Like people are engaging with it, and it's been added to so many playlists, also on Spotify, and I don't know what the streams are on there, but it's just building and spreading, and people are downloading it and adding it to their own like playlists or repertoires. And yeah, the responses are really, really good. It performed very well in record pools as well, which I found because it's such a slow record, DJs are downloading the record and playing it in lounges and stuff. Because I get the maps and I'm seeing where it's being played, and then I get the Shazams telling me where the record's being Shazam. So the people are hearing it and they're trying to figure out like who's singing this record. So it's pretty cool that it's doing as well as it's doing, just out the gate. So what that tells you as an artist, but also as a label owner, because I'm independent, so it's my label, is that when you see that a record is organically just performing well, you know that that's the one you need to get behind. Because you need DJs are like, to me, your best sounding board. And when you put it out in a record pool, they don't have to download your song. It's there with a million other songs. So if they're pulling your record and they're playing it and taking time to give you commentary on it too, which I appreciate, like, oh, this record is dope or it's whatever, then like, okay, it's time to get out there and start doing these shows and stuff like that. Not that I don't do that, but it just tells you got a little something on this one. Kind of like Say Yes, the first single. It just went boom everywhere, all over the world. That was what put me out there. And that record was another one of those records because I started out as a smooth jazz R&B artist. So this one is kind of reminiscent of that, but I think better.
Well, it's definitely a beautiful song. I don't know, for whatever reason, I keep picturing it being played at a wedding. Um,
When she decided to up her
you,
mind.
it's just like it's very much one of the songs that can be played everywhere in every occasion,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's ratchet. But I mean, then that's when you're gonna put on red bottoms and lingerie and freak.
Listen, we got a little something for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I like you, because your music is versatile. It's not just one straightforward all R&B or all this and the other. The vibes, the songs themselves, the lyrics, the way you make people feel. I can come from being up here to slow it down. Let's get a little sexy. Let's go ahead. Let me express to you as a woman what I feel. You know, because sometimes we don't like to express ourselves. Like, especially now, a lot of people don't do a lot of expressing of their heart anymore in a good way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people are guarded, you know, and I get that too. But I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna tell you what's on my mind. So that's just my personality. Period. It's probably a Virgo thing too, as you could probably relate to.
Ooh, it's funny. I just had that same conversation about Virgos earlier. But
Like
yes, we are. We're
with us is what you get. That's it.
that's I swear that is so true. I swear I was just having this conversation earlier. Just funny. Because someone did say if you know someone's sign, then it tells you everything about them.
That's true.
So, yeah, it's funny. Okay, so that's just a side note. All right, Monique Nikkole, I know you've been busy. You got to get out of here. Let everyone know where they can find the latest single, If What I Feel Is Real.
Yes. What I feel is if what I feel is real is available on every streaming platform that you can imagine. It's also available on iTunes and every download site that you can think of. It's available for you to download, to stream. The lyric video is also on YouTube. So if you feel that you want to get on there and do your karaoke version and duet it, by all means, go for it because I'd love to hear your version of the record. But it's available everywhere on every platform. You guys support it. Call your radio stations, have them add it. Share. Sharing is caring. Share it with a friend. Like, okay, if the record moves you and you like it, pass it on. Pass it on. Yeah, and I'm asking Nikkole everywhere. So you guys can see up there how my name is spelled. Nikkole is not the common spelling, it's Nikkole. And if you Google me, you'll find all my links and everything. Rest of my music. And you can check out my SoundCloud too from a mixtape that I dropped years ago. That's fun too. Yeah.
Well, Monique, Nikkole, I appreciate you coming back as a returning guest on the Candy Show. Now, before we go out of here, I just want to let you know we are definitely going to have to connect in person because I love the virtual and all that, but I need to be in person,
Yes.
you know. So we're gonna have to definitely make that happen. That way we don't have to worry about all these technical difficulties and things like that.
Sorry about that. And the funny thing is, there is a bell. Like, I'm not having any distortion on my side.
It's so crazy. It's like that's okay. But the audio was great. You got everything out that you needed to get
Yeah.
out, you know.
Yeah.
But guys, you already know. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube page, capital C and the number two Candy Productions too. If you are not following this official Instagram page, it's Candy Talk Show. So guys, once again, thank you so much to Miss Monique Nikkole. Make sure you are downloading all her songs and go check out the movie. Monique, tell them what the movie is again.
It's on Tubi. Tubi's free, so it's not like y'all gotta pay a monthly subscription. So that part, make sure y'all check it out. It's a cool,
And what's the
it's a cool movie. So it's deeper than law. You just put that in there in the search, and it's gonna pop up.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much once again. Put your notifications on. Until next time, bye.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming back. Bye. And shout out to John Michael Hawkeye.
Yes,
Thank you
you're in the
again.
room. Thank you.
Bye bye.